Eamon, welcome to the Hello
there. Hello there, Brian, and I wish you and yours a blessed Palm Sunday and a joyous Easter Sunday a week from now.
Thank you. Are you from the Emerald Isle?
Yeah, I am. Yes, that's right. I did try. I wanted to consult with a fellow Irishman.
You were trying to hide you were trying to hide the brogue, weren't you?
Well, I've been here a number of years, so it's kind of...
you can take the boy out of Ireland, but you can't take the Ireland out of the boy.
But, Mr. Daly, could you tell me the information that I found over the computer? And we'd asked a policeman, actually a couple of policemen, what's the difference now between the law in Florida about the hold your ground against being a crime victim, and then here in Michigan, with the recent the stories, it's got a lot of notoriety down there in Florida.
Now, hold on a second, Eamon, and hold on, Matt. Knowing the Irish, the way I know the Irish, with the fiery tempers they got, you want me to give you advice on how to fire a gun?
Well, no, I have no gun. I have a shillelagh only.
You got a shillelagh?
60.
Well, an Irishman with a shillelagh can do a lot more damage than an American with a gun.
We don't have that in Livonia too much.
Oh, okay. Oh, what do you say, Matt? What's the deal here now?
All right, so here's the problem. In Florida, several years ago, they passed into something called the Stand Your Ground Act. And what that says is if you're in a public area lawfully, if you're not trespassing, you do not have a duty to flee, and you can use, I believe, any force necessary. Even if the person comes at you with fists or a knife, you can respond with a gun as long as you're lawfully in the area. That's why we've got this whole Trevon situation down in Florida, because that law is really broadly written. Here in Michigan and in most states in the country, you have a duty to flee if you're in a public area. The only place where you don't have that duty to flee is if you're in your house. If you're in your home, you do not have a duty to flee. You can use deadly force if someone breaks into your house, which is the way I think it should be. But let's say you're on a public street, even if you're lawfully there, if someone comes at you with fists or a knife or something, you have a duty reasonably to try and get out of the area. Now, if you're backed into an alley and there's no place you can go, you can use the force necessary to protect yourself. However, if you can run away, if it's possible, you have a duty to do so. And that's why if we had this Michigan law down in Florida, then the gentleman who shot Trevon would be doing a lot of explaining because, as we all know, 911 told him to disengage, and he didn't disengage. Now, he was properly relying on the Florida law, saying he could stand his ground, but here in Michigan, he would have a duty to disengage and flee if reasonably he could do so, and that's why we got the whole problem down in Florida, because that stand your ground law, in my opinion, it's a big problem, and it basically turns the country into the wild old west, and we don't need that with guns.
Does that answer your question for you, Eamon?
Thank you for that insight. That I worked for the Board of Education in Detroit for many years, and let me tell you, fellas, that a teenager will hurt you. Some of them have grown big. They'll hurt you as well as a grown man and adult will. So I don't think Zimmerman was all wrong. And, Brian, there's a good radio show on the Irish American Show. Maybe you're aware of it, 1:30 p.m. every Sunday on AM 690. Thank you and goodbye now.
Thank you for that shameless plug. We'll listen and we'll tune in.